Hey guys, welcome back to Mainville ATV and Outdoors. It is currently Christmas Eve as I am filming this, so a Merry Christmas to you guys. Today we're going to be talking about garage storage. Behind me is the final result of months-long effort to finally get some cabinets in here. I'm going to tell you all about that adventure and how we went from one company to another to finally get what we have going on here today. And to top it off, we have that maple top. We're going to be taking a look at all of these products and how I got here, what I liked, what I didn't like. We're going to just have a discussion about garage storage and how to make use of your space when you only have so little to work with. So if you guys are new to the channel, you'd know that we've been working on this garage basically since we landed here September 19th. That's the day we actually got the house. As I'm filming this video, like I said, it's Christmas Eve. So we're basically coming up on January. We have spent the majority of the time essentially getting this garage space done. And the reason for that is I spend a lot of time here. It is where I do a lot of my work. And it's just a space that provides a lot of function for the way my wife and I operate. So it's just a space that was prioritized for us to get done, as well as a few other things in the house if you guys have been watching the house series. Now, this garage space is not the biggest space that I've ever had. Now, I do know over all the garages that I've had how to get a space to function best for me. So it wasn't too scary when I had to downsize from a larger garage to this one. But I did know that it was going to take some extra effort in order to organize and make a space efficient in order to maximize the little space that I do have. This garage is basically an entire double bay shorter, or not quite, but near that, than my last garage. It does have a little bit of depth. The ceiling height is still fairly good, but there was a lot of things that I had to sacrifice in order to get to where I am now to get this space to function. I even had to add a shed outside that is, I believe, 12 by 20, and that shed is where my garden stuff and my tractor and everything else went, so that this space could just have some leg room so you can walk around. I could fit all that stuff in here, but then you just start clashing with other stuff, especially when you're tearing apart a side by side and you have plastics and tires and stuff everywhere. So basically that's a little bit of background. We have been trying to make this entire space from the shell all the way to where it is today finished as maximized as possible, whether it's the garage doors, we're going high clearance just to buy us that extra height to jack up a side-by-side or whatever, or whether it's these cabinets that we're going to be discussing now. So before we actually get into talking about the cabinets, real quick, I wanted to clarify that nothing in this video is sponsored. I paid for every step of the way. The first company, the second company that's installed here, as well as that maple top, all of it's paid for. But regardless of that, if I pay for it or if I don't, I always tell the truth about how I feel about all of it. So we're going to be doing that today as well. Okay, so company number one, the company that isn't installed here today, was NewAge. NewAge is a company that basically builds bulk products similar to this one in appearance from China, and they bring it out. They're like an online retailer, and they distribute through many companies, one of them being like Costco, for example. Now, these are a product that are highly accessible to basically anyone, but they come with a lot of difficulties. They are, however, fairly affordable in comparison relative to other products. So I originally went with NewAge, and I made an order. It was about $5,200 Canadian all in, and they were supposed to deliver to my door. I went with this product because it was affordable and it was quick. Quick being exactly what I was looking for and ended up not being the truth. The issue I had with NewAge was when I went online, they said, yeah, we can have these delivered by X time. I was trying to basically get some of these products, and I was ordering them in October or so. So somewhere in early October I ordered, and I can't remember the exact dates, but they were saying like, oh, third week of October, we can have them to your door. So I click buy. As soon as I click buy, I get an email saying some of the products that you ordered are on back order, and it will be November something to something before they show up. That was misleading and already kind of disappointing as it was, because I bought with the intent of getting this product fairly soon. So anyway, I was a little upset and continued. About a week or two later, I get another email saying it's gonna get pushed and get pushed and get pushed. So this got pushed several times, and it got to the point where Christmas was coming, which is literally today. And I said, hey guys, like, where's my product? How is this going to get delivered? Usually by the time they actually deliver the product, it's something like 7 business days to get it to my door from that initial shipping point. So I knew by the time Christmas come around, they were going to go on holidays, because that's what we do, and no one's going to deliver anything until January. So the final nail in the coffin was essentially, it got to the point where I knew this product wasn't going to show up until second, third week Jan, which is still a couple weeks from now. And as you can tell, I've already got cabinets here from another company. So I was a little upset about that, and I was talking to them throughout this process, and I basically said, hey, I have this issue, like, how do we resolve this? And they said, so sorry, Kyle, sorry about that, and we can offer you, I believe it was $75. So they wanted to correct all of this with $75. My big issue is, like, this space, as I have said before, is important to me. I want to do projects and film projects that I'm doing in here and do work in here and maintain stuff that I have around the house. So this space is important, and I wanted to get it running because we have other projects that we want to give our attention to. And I clarified that, you know, my business operates out of this garage and I need these cabinets. So they had no answer for me or any solution whatsoever, and I was very disappointed. The more you look into that company, the more you realize that there's terrible reviews. They're typically pretty good at actually getting you the product, especially if you're buying it through a distributor like, let's say, Costco or something, where they have it actually in stock and you can purchase it there. It's very economical because the way they pack it and ship it and get it out to you is fairly good. Now, that being said, if you actually look and you have an issue with your product, getting it back to them, their customer service, all of that is actually, in my opinion, a nightmare. So I can't say I recommend NewAge products, but I can say there is a position for them. I know why they exist, I know why they're popular, and I know why they're fairly successful. And I'm not saying don't buy that product, I'm just saying be wary, be careful, and take a look at reviews. So everything that I saw online from different YouTubers, everyone was speaking so highly of them. I currently theorize that some of those YouTubers were given a deal, and I think they were incentivized to be a little more positive about that product. So a little disappointing on that front, and I do wish I could have made it work out, but I have nothing good to say at this point about NewAge and their products. I know other people with the products in their garage and they're happy with it. That's the honest truth. But if you take a look around at the reviews, you're going to have some issues. So all of that aside, I'm kind of panicking at this point, and it comes around to basically, I want to say like early December, a couple weeks ago. And I needed to get this done because I have projects that are coming in here that I wanted to do starting over the Christmas holidays. Literally, as I'm done this video, I'm going to get this edited, and I have projects rolling in here. So stay tuned for that. Obviously, we just barely made it by the skin of our teeth. This tabletop as well was delivered literally yesterday. So that's how close I'm kind of cutting it on some of these projects. Okay, so now we're actually going to talk about what I do have installed. This is Garage Living products. When I looked them up locally, I found them here in Ottawa. That is a franchise, so they are North American wide, and from what I understand, they're actually starting to deal internationally as well. I looked them up and basically found out that they had what I was looking for, and I gave them a call. I got a call back within about an hour or so, and it was actually the owner of the franchise here in Ottawa called Ryan. So Ryan got a hold of me and said, hey, I'd love to do a consultation. So Ryan came out that evening at about 5:30 p.m. and he showed me that he had a bunch of options. We were talking about the space, what I needed, and he said, I have a bunch of solutions for you, and he was right. So I told him, and this is like December, I think it was December 2nd or 3rd or so. So like it's crunch time. I told him, like, I'd like to get this done before Christmas. Do you think we can pull it off? And he goes, yeah, absolutely. I think we can. A lot of this product in my scenario is actually stored in Toronto, which is only a few hours away. So he's like, I think we can get it all up here fairly quickly. And then we just have to figure out a day to install. Their schedule was pretty busy, so Ryan, what he did, because he knew my predicament, he actually grabbed one of his employees and came out here on their own time on a Sunday, which is like super appreciated because their schedule was packed. But sure enough, within a couple of weeks, they came out here. I think it was about a week ago at this point, and they got it all installed. All of the cabinets were installed from the wall unit that's on this side and obviously this entire wall here. What's really cool is they have tons of products and they have multiple lines, similar to the way NewAge actually operates, but this is more of a premium line. And I say that knowing full well that this line is more expensive than what I was looking at last time. A lot of the reasons for that are simply the construction of the materials, the depth of the materials, and I added some components. So what you're looking at behind me was $11,000 with tax installed. So I'm aware of the price difference between the two setups, but the two setups are also drastically different, so it wasn't much of a comparison in that regard. So it came time to actually install all of this product, and Ryan and his team came in on Sunday at the designated time that I asked for. So the first part of the process was for them to make sure that the product was dent-free from shipping or anything like that. All the products I ordered were in perfect condition, and they started putting on legs and stuff like that. The next thing they had to do was obviously prep that back wall over there, so they had to do a bunch of lasers and measuring and everything like that, because they were trying to find studs, make sure they weren't going to hit wires, and they wanted it to be level and sized appropriately. What I mean by sized appropriately is like the upper cabinets and the lower cabinets, you don't want them in a way that actually impedes any work on that tabletop. So they made sure that they had the right distances, and they also made sure that the cabinets on one wall were the same as the cabinet on the other wall. So that worked out really well. So the whole process, they were making sure everything was precision. And for a guy like me, watching them work, it was awesome to see, because that just makes me sleep better at night. I don't know how to explain it, but it was just an awesome process. Very professional, they were very quick, and they got the job done, and they did exactly what they said they would do. And that's what I appreciate the most. There's a wide variety of ways to get things done, but the only thing that I appreciate as a customer is that if you do exactly what you said you were going to do. I know it seems like a weird thing to say, but these days it seems to be a tall order. So I appreciate the guys over at Garage Living. They did a fantastic job, came through in all their promises. When I had a problem, they had a solution, and that is very important as well. And yeah, they just came in with smiles on their faces and got the job done. So that was really cool. So what I'm gonna do now is take you up close to the product, show you what it's all about, try to give you a feel for what you're looking at. I think that's really important in case you're interested in something like this. And then I'm going to explain why I chose what I did. So let's go have a look. When I'm panning around, I apologize for the mess. Like, this is what I mean about projects literally coming in the door. So as soon as this video wraps up, I'm going to be jumping into the next one as well as editing tonight. But this is what I wanted to clarify. So this space right here is where I'm going to do work. Of course, in your workspace, you want to have everything you need to do your work, ideally. This is a wide open space. If I do any work, this is where it's going to be. I'm also going to be doing a lot of filming. So this area needs to function and look presentable as well. In the middle there will be a hoist at some point, just so you understand what's going on here. And that's to lift ATV, side-by-sides, motorcycles, whatever I'm working on, snowmobiles. That's the idea with this end. So I knew that going into this garage. I knew that this entire wall back here was going to be storage of some kind. Similar to the way I had it in previous shops, but a little more efficient. All of those cabinets are basically oils, fluids, everything that I need for all of my servicing on all of my different machines. On the bottom, I have specialty tools and shop products. If there's a bunch of consumables that I'm going to use in the shop, that's one. I have specialty tools in the other, and then I have bulk tools in the last one. I knew that I wanted to do that to free up space in my toolbox. My toolbox has all of my hand tools that I need. So that's basically what's going on here. Bulk storage over here, this is where you keep whatever large winter jackets, work boots, everything like that. I have welding mask, all sorts of stuff in there. I even have chainsaw equipment. A lot of this stuff I can grow into. There's actually space in it that I haven't even used yet, which is great. I'm sure I will fill it over time. So Garage Living provided me with a bunch of information that I could pass on to you guys. What I'm going to do is actually link to their website online. So if something like this does interest you, you can go have a look at all the specifics, because there is a lot going on with their products. And they also have multiple lines and multiple ways to install them. Obviously things can get very custom, so I'm going to have links in the description for all the Garage Living stuff. So you're going to notice there's a bit of a difference between the top and the bottom cabinets. So the top cabinets have a 14-inch depth and the bottom has a 24-inch depth. 24 inches are significantly deep. Like, this is massive. When it comes to garage storage, you'll know that that's typically as large as they'll go without getting custom. The reason why these are 14 inches deep is so that you can actually use your tabletop space without having anything impeding you. So that's the whole idea going on here. The top cabinets, like I said, 14 inches deep. They have a variety of different widths. You'll notice that they match the bottom. So instead of having 24 inches wide, this one, it might be 18 or 20, I don't actually know. But they're the same top and bottom. They have different cabinets so that they can match. So up here I have cleaning products. And the next one, this is 24 inches wide. I have snowmobile and ATV side-by-side products. These are all different fluids, gear fluids, coolant, that kind of thing. And this one, I believe I have just all of my household stuff. I have hydraulic fluid and engine oil for my tractor. I have like power washer, whippersnipper, some chainsaw stuff, things like that. That's what's going on here. This one I don't believe is used much, but I have like ANECs and Loctite and different products like that. I think this will be just general shop stuff. Again, this might change over time. I have so much space that I might reorganize things as they go along. We're gonna come back onto this tabletop and bar fridge, but we're gonna start on this side. Over here, I have, just more shop stuff basically in garbage bags, different keys for different machines. This side I dedicated to essentially having shop consumables. I think is the way I want to do this. But I mean, I go through a ton of cotter pins and different clips, obviously a bunch of different zip discs and things like that. A bunch of air fittings, and I don't know what these are actually called, but I call them cookies. Things like that. Electrical tape, a lot of stuff that I go through all the time. Drill bits, nitrile gloves. In here, you'll notice there's a significant amount of weight, and these drawers can handle them like nothing. So in here is more spare parts, clutching components, extra studs, stuff like that. This is all kind of power sport parts, stuff that I typically go through. Like I have a ton of studs in here, things like that. In this drawer I have all of my electrical stuff. So I have shrink wrap and speaker wire, some 6-gauge, different wiring harnesses, you know, fusible links, all sorts of stuff in here. You're gonna notice this is empty, but it's actually a good thing to show you. So this is 24 inches of depth. Like, that is a ton of storage. They also threw in some of these liners just so stuff doesn't slide around when you open it. And then there's an even larger drawer at the bottom. And I literally don't even know what to use this space for yet, which is fantastic. It's a great problem to have. On this side, I started getting rid of all of the stuff that I have in blow mold cases. I hate blow mold cases. If you're in any of the trades and have those tools, you understand that they just soak up space, and a lot of times you don't even use stuff because it's annoying to get to. So now I actually have access to it. So I have a couple of my torque wrenches, and then I have tap and die, rethreading sets, extractor sets, stuff like that. Different weird stuff like leather punches, stuff that I don't want in my toolbox, right? I have some more electrical stuff, which is actually in line with the consumables. You kind of see what I'm going for here. So meters and thermal and some cameras, timing light, heat gun, just kind of stuff like that. Stuff that, like, when you put it into a toolbox like this, it just doesn't work very well. Open, open. On this side, what I've got going on is I'm going to start organizing some of my power tools. These are some of the tools that I use the most. I've got some high mileage on some of these components. So I got a bunch of batteries and chargers. I still haven't quite gone through all of this stuff yet. Like I said, I just had these installed. So in here, I do have a couple blow molds, and it's because these specialty items, I know when I need them where they are, and I only need them so often. So they're so big, like I have pull kits and different bearing and ball joint kits and stuff like that. That's all in here. I very rarely need these, but when I do, they're here. Propane heat, and then I have some reels of like bungee cord and stuff back there and like different electrical conduit. That's a grease gun, and then everyone's got one of these. It's a bolt bin. All of the extra bolts from my projects, that kind of thing. So that gives you an idea of what's going on here. And then of course my toolbox is literally just hand tools, everything that you need to do the jobs themselves. All of my like work clothing and stuff, I haven't actually put it in here yet, but I have some stuff in. So what you're seeing here is kind of like my winter getup when I go outside and snow blow, that kind of thing, or if I work outside. Obviously some safety plaid, some chainsaw gear. That was my helmet from underground. I kind of just keep that to keep it. Welding helmet. These are actually toys from when I was a kid that my grandfather gave me. These are all metal, fun fact. I'm gonna put those up on shelves at some point. And then this right here, eventually I'm going to actually install that compressor into the corner. It is all wired up, everything's good to go. But behind that is gonna be a wood board. And I have a bunch of stuff that's coming in right now. There's gonna be hose reels, electrical reels, everything that I need right there, so that when I'm actually working in this space, I can just reel it out from this corner. That's what this is here. As far as the actual components and how all of this stuff works, he brought one of these doors. And I know it's gonna sound weird, but when he came for the consultation, he brought a door and he said, "Kyle, hold this door." And it was heavy, it was thick. Like, it's solid. It doesn't do the thing, you know the thing when you open a cabinet, like, you know what I mean? When it opens up and it rattles? It doesn't do that. Oh, that's nice. So it's got magnets to kind of hold it all in. I don't know how to explain this the way that they do. I do not do justice to this product the way the sales guys do. They came here and they just listened to what I wanted. They didn't push product on me. I told them this is what I need, and they gave me exactly what I was looking for. All of these drawers are solid. I obviously have them absolutely packed to the gills with stuff, and it's literally no issue. I don't know how to, I don't know. I've thought about many ways that I could do this video because I don't know exactly how I can show you how great of a product this is. I can't really give you the way it feels when you close the door. I can't give you the way it feels when you pick it up. or kind of poke the side of the steel. I can't give you any of that necessarily, but what I can tell you is that I paid full price for this product and I have no benefit in fluffing up this company. They did a very good job. They were professional. I enjoy the product. Yes, I paid more money for this than I originally wanted to, but I also got 10 times the product. So it's hard to kind of quantify the differences, but I just gave you my experience with both products, and I'm very happy with the product that I received. So a big thank you to Garage Living. If you want to know more about that company and the products that they provide, there's going to be a link in the description. Go have a look, because again, I can't quite give you all the information the way they do. So anyway, I just wanted to leave you with that. The final thing we're going to be discussing today is actually the top of all of this. The big maple slab that I had made from a buddy of mine. So let's go have a look at that. The final piece to all of this is that maple top. So this was actually done by a buddy of mine that I used to ride with here in Renfrew County. And he has a business called White Barn Woodworks. So it's a side gig that he operates where he does a bunch of woodworking locally for people. I have an obsession with maple, probably a little unhealthy. I just think it's the greatest wood on the planet. And there's a few reasons why I needed to do a custom slab as opposed to what Garage Living could offer. Number one, you're gonna notice all the way around the garage, I have a concrete lip. So what that did was kind of skew a lot of the measurements that we're dealing with. So these cabinets, they come with 4 legs, which you can see there, but you can also have them floating on slat wall, which they also provide. The third option is what happened here. So you can see that we have the back of this resting on the concrete, and then it's actually bolted into the studs. So what this did was create a gap back here. And you'll notice it's still there now because this isn't actually installed. This just came in yesterday and I'm waiting on a few things before I install it. The scenario was already going to be custom whether I liked it or not. It was fine by me because my original plan was to do this regardless. So that maple slab goes all the way across. And this is another interesting thing. The way all of the measurements worked out, I only wanted this many cabinets to begin with, but I knew that there was going to be a giant void over here. So I wanted to make use of it. So the slab's gonna go all the way to the wall like it is, and I'm gonna have L brackets into the studs on this side, and then it allowed me to have my beer fridge here. So that's all installed and good to go. And in this corner, there's actually going to be a computer. And that's so that I can look up manuals or whatever I want, play some music, do that kind of thing. That's what's gonna be in this corner. So it has a lot of uses to keep my workspace wide open. Another thing that I considered was doing a maple lip and then maybe some slat wall or something under here. And I'm looking into LED features that Garage Living also offers. But this is the slab and why I chose it. It is beautiful. It's so good looking, honestly, that I'm gonna have a hard time using it for a little while, but eventually I'll scar it up and mar it a little bit. And I just wanted a proper hardwood to actually work on. And what it'll do, once I actually trim a few components, is it'll butt up right against the wall and seal perfect. And it has an inch overhang. Anyone who works in a garage knows this. I just wanted it to have a little bit of an overhang just for appearance sake, and it just kind of creates a pivot point when you actually open some of the drawers. I know that seems silly, but those small details for me are huge. So I just wanted to throw a big shout out to Marty. He works at White Barn Woodworks. He has a bunch of beautiful wood like this actually on his property, and he saves massive slabs. So if you have an interesting project, maybe go reach out to him and see what he has going on. But that's kind of where I'm going to end today's video. So my opinion on multiple companies, why I'm doing what I'm doing, and of course that maple top. Big thank you again to everyone involved. It's been quite a treat to get to this point, but I'm actually at the point where this space is now functional and I can start getting to work, which is very important to me. So you're gonna start seeing more videos out of this space. There's a lot more growth and a lot of things that are gonna change in this garage over time, even yet. So we're gonna have more videos updating you guys on that. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like and subscribe, and a big thank you for watching this far if you stuck around. We'll see you guys next time.